Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hotel Orloff here in scenic rural Retreat, Virginia. Just a moment. Well, so it's been a while since we met. So I went for a routine physical, and everything was normal except I had an elevated ferritin iron level of 1500, which is unimaginably horrifyingly high. So I got set up for a ultrasound test, not yesterday, but last Friday. Looked on the internet to see what could be the cause, horrible possibilities, and I don't drink. I had a few beers this year, but I'm not a drinker. This is Gold Peak tea. Anyway, but my diet is shitty, and I've relapsed and gone back drinking soft drinks, which in this part of the country is called pop, but in other parts of the country they call it soda pop or sody pop, or sometimes they just call it Coke. But anyway, been drinking too much of that. Anyway, a couple days I have to go through all last weekend. Found out Monday, or was it Tuesday, the results, and I was very relieved, and I was dancing around going, I've got a fatty liver, I've got fatty liver disease, I've got fatty. So I was really happy that I had that as opposed to the alternatives that it could have been, because fatty or fatso, whatever, liver disease is something that you can do something about with your diet and exercise, and so and tea helps actually. You ever notice these teas always have this weird hole in the bottom? It's very strange. All of them seem to do that. Is that so they can have less product and fool you? I don't know. That's my suspicion. But anyway, so I've got to change my diet, and I've got to change my exercise regimen. So that is something that's going to be ongoing. So right now, I've lost about 3 pounds. I'm 240 pounds, so I'm going to be regularly on these shows giving you my weight, and it's kind of because this show is really more of a diary for me, and that way I can track what's going on with me and all that stuff. And so I just gonna have to watch my diet, fried food and all that stuff. Okay, so it's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's 8 o'clock. I think I'm gonna go live later, which means this show will be seen by no one, because people only watch the last show that you put up. And if you do a show and then later do a live show, that's the one that everyone's going to tune in. And then this will be a lost show with maybe 200 views. It's okay. I like to do these canned shows because the video quality is so much better. And I can also pause like this. Watch. Like, look at that. I've walked several feet. The cats are all gathered around me wanting treats, so let's feed them some treats. And folks, have you tried Temptations? They're whole wheat with none of the bran. For Temptations is the best food of man. Tom Mix and Jack Armstrong agree, and Little Orphan Annie all agree. Let's sprinkle these treats out all over the floor. Don't worry, the cats will eat it all. This Temptations is, I don't know, man. What? I can't read anything, man. Crunchy inside, soft, some kind of salmon flavor. Yeah, savory salmon flavor. How about that? So, Air conditioner is still not working. Luckily, it hasn't gotten above 80, but it's gonna need to be fixed pretty darn soon. Okay, now the dog is into the cat treats. Dog, you can't control it. No, man, this dog. Drew, how dare you? You're not even a cat. How dare you? Well, they're all happy. It's just like Woodstock here, man. Bunch of peaceful, hippie dogs and cats, man. God damn. Oh boy. It's hot up here in this attic. Gotta turn the fan on. One moment. Okay. Well, we gotta have music. Now, collecting comics can be the worst, most nerdy, stupid, idiotic hobby known to man, or it can be somewhat fun and not so bad. All depends on how you do that. Oh shit. The fan is knocked Elviro.
He's waiting to take my baby to the record hop. My baby's gone coming from crazy. My baby's gone coming from crazy. All the girl can say is crack, crack. My baby's gone coming from hell. All night long, booty with Becker is knocking.
Now, the last few times, I've been having trouble finding a particular box, so. Oh man, I wonder if it's that box. No, it can't be that box. Hold on. No, it's not that box. Oh boy.
This is Dr. Grottu Orloff. You're tuned in to the greatest radio station
Let's see.
in the history of mankind. 106.9 FM.
Hold on a second. Well, you never believe it. I actually found it. Archie Comics Box 1. I'm looking for it for several weeks because I'm on a quest for a Jughead comic that has the creature from the Black Lagoon on the cover. And I know I have this book. You know what's been annoying me? One thing is this. I've been watching these playbacks of shows, and this Cramps poster's been hanging down. Stay in there, bastard. Okay. Not very professional. Okay. So I looked in the box that has the J comics for Archie publications, and I didn't find it. So I'm thinking I filed it under, maybe I filed some of the Jughead comics under A for Archie's pal Jughead. Man, look at this. Archie number 59. Archie number 69. Oh, the cats are up here playing around, man. What is going on here? It looks like there's two comics in this bag. What is going on? Man, there were two comics in this bag. How the hell did that happen? I don't ever do that. It's Archie 72. What would you guess? I already know it's January, February. Let's guess 19. It's pre-code. Let's guess 51. Man, no, it's 55. I was off by 5 years. Beautiful. Now, Archie is a cool thing to collect. I've started to realize that, well, I looked at my YouTube statistics, and it seems like for a while I had people watching of all people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. Man, it was like, wow. And then I realized it was because of these two new kittens that we adopted. People are tuning in to see them. The cat video went viral. So, so this is the other one that was in the bag. I don't know how that happened. I just don't know. Oh, well, I probably bought two Archie comics from Gotham City Comics, and he didn't have enough bags, probably, is what it was. I'm guessing. I don't know. Hey, anyway, so yeah, now that crowd is gone now, and it's only people like 55 to 64 that watch this channel. Like, and I used to have like 9% female viewership. That went down to 0% female viewership, which means even that all women have given up all hope of this channel possibly entertaining them. But February 1959, number 98. So, what was my point? Oh, watching these other YouTube channels, I realized that a lot of them that I watch, these guys are about 5 to 10, well, about 10 years younger than me. Man, then I used to think, man, I was born too late in 1965. If only I'd been born, you know, back then, so I could have enjoyed the 50s music and the 60s music. But Then I realized how much worse it is for people that grew up in the 90s. So I cried because I had no shoes until I met the man who had no head or no feet or whatever the cliche is. 122. 131. We're already up to the 15-cent era. What? No, we're not. Archie must have done what Gold Key did, briefly went up to 15 cents in the early 60s before they realized, no, we can't go up from 10 to 15 cents. Let's go to, see, this is a later issue and it's 12 cents. Gold Key made that accidental jump too. They jumped the gun up to 15 cents. That was in 62. The comic companies jumped from 10 to 12 cents, I think late 62. But then Gold Key and apparently Archie went up to 15 cents briefly, but then they went back down to 12. And the whole industry didn't go to 15 cents until 68. This music pretty much perfectly matches this time period. This is obviously not the Beatles. This is from a record label called Rinx Records, R-I-N-X. They made literally thousands of 45 RPM records. Don't call them vinyls. Don't do it. I don't care if all the younger whippersnappers are calling them vinyls. They're records. You know they're records. You're 60 years old. You know that. Don't try to be cool. 149. Anyway, I guess Roller Rinks had got these records on a subscription basis now. I've only met one other person that's collected these records, and I bought hundreds from that person who was buying them from the original guy, the guy that owned this there was a roller rink in LA, and this guy recorded himself and a few other guys on the organ doing this, because it's not just any music you play at a roller rink. If you're skating competitively, you've got to have a certain number of beats, for what they do, their little maneuvers. And so what they did is they took the music that was popular at the time and converted it into roller rink music. This is obviously a Little Richard. But anyway, I got tons of 45s and I converted it to CD back early part of this century. My fly's been down the entire time. Sorry, I don't think. Okay. I have 2 copies of that one, man. Whew. It reflects the complete time period, everything. We're in the mid-60s here when the James Bond movies were ruling the theaters. I remember that Esso, which is now Exxon, had the Put a Tiger in Your Tank marketing campaign where they gave you a little tiger's tail to tie around your gas cap so it looked like a tiger tail was hanging out of your gas tank. The tiger was in there. Long forgotten marketing campaigns unless you're really old. Issue 172. There's certain covers that are really cool to me. Ones with jukeboxes, ones on the beach, Christmas covers, ones with bands playing and kids all dancing. That was 172. Here's another one. Like to see how the bands are depicted, the fashions, everything's great in these Archie comics. Up till a certain point. Once you get past, say, the bicentennial year, Archie is not going to be that much fun. Archie comics from the 80s or 90s. Well, in the 90s, Archie kind of started to be kind of cool again, but not very long. Oh, another copy. I'm going through all these Archies. I want to see if I have that Jughead, man. Let me see here. I'm going to flip forward. Archie and me. Come on, Jughead. Archie at Riverdale High. Archie's Christmas stocking. Come on. Archie's. Damn, no. You know what? I was almost certain I had that Creature from the Black Lagoon comic. I remember looking and saying, man, I can't believe it. I've always wanted this and I've got it. But perhaps I was deceived. Recently, this guy, Dan Parent, has come along and has tried to make things kind of have Archie crossover with pop culture of today and stuff. Archie meets Batman 66 kind of thing. Dang. My only it must have been a little dot cover that has something that kind of looks like the Creature from the Black Lagoon on it. That must be what made me think I had this. But on this Jughead comic, the Creature from the Black Lagoon looks exactly like the Universal Creature from the Black Lagoon, not a generic thing. Okay, well, that box has been found. If you watch the movie The Buddy Holly Story, they film the opening scene during the opening credits in this Los Angeles roller rink. Because it was the late 70s, so only 20 years had really passed, a little more than 20 years. And you see the guy that's playing the organ here is playing the organ in that roller rink. And then Buddy Holly's band starts playing, and the kids really start to dance, That is something else, huh? How about that? I've been annoyed by the condition of this collection behind me, so I'm going to brighten it up today. I'll be right back.
Fresh are the fixings at Alliance Brothers restaurants, like fresh ground lean tender beef, sweet Bermuda onions, snap and fresh lettuce and ripe red tomatoes, fresh light pastries and donuts too. Well, that's the kind of fresh fixings that go into the fine food at Alliance Brothers every day. There's always something fresh and good waiting for you at Elias Brothers, where quality comes through. Always something fresh and tasty, great food, coffee, and pastry at Elias Brothers Restaurants.
Anyway, as the summer progresses, I'm gonna try to transform myself into something healthy, because my wife's 13 years younger than me, and I don't need to be, I want to be around for her. So this eating shit diet, and it's got to stop. Okay. Samuel. Samuel. I think we've been through this box before, but maybe, probably. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. Decorating these boxes. This box is all marble team up. Marble triple action. I think I can move some of these books down at this point. The Human Torch meets the Son of Satan. One of the few issues where Spider-Man's not in marble team up. Wait a second. Marvel Premiere. I need to file a Marvel Adventure comic. I have these, pop art productions, the Marvel Comics group. I've got DC ones. Um, I kind of want to look at some magazines today. Magazines were my first love before comics. Of course, they're comic magazines like Mad and Creepy and Eerie and Vampirella and all that kind of stuff. Oops, I'm blocking your view. All right. I think we'll go fine. It's fine. Well, I hear that bags and boards are going up an astronomical amount, but we can go without bags and boards for a little while until things turn around. So it's not a huge tragedy. I've got quite a few comics that aren't bagged and boarded just because I wasn't able to ever really afford bags and boards as they were. But if we can't manufacture bags and boards in this country, then I imagine someone will figure out how to do it. Since there's only old people watching my channel, do any of you take Social Security out at a young age, like 62? What's the deal with that? Maybe you can tell me down in the chat below. Since we're gonna be a old codger channel. Okay, what am I doing here? Jonah Hex. Oh yeah, let's look at some of these books. These are pretty good. Oh man, I know what I can do. Hold on a second. These spruce up your comic collection. Especially when I've got something written on it from the 1980s that no longer applies to what's in the box. Just cover it up. Makes your comic collection look so much more professional. Oh, Drew the dog is here.
For a march, let's all go down to the amusement park. Hey, come and have fun. Come on, everybody, let's go with you home. And ride the big coaster right up to the sky. Come on, out to the park, where the gang has the ball on midway.
No one's going to watch this video, so I don't really care how boring it is.
Railroad or take the J-Lift to fabulous Ghost Town in the Mile High Fun Park. Ride all the rides as often as you like. One admission price includes all rides and entertainment. Every minute is action-packed as you experience the excitement of the Old West. Ghost Town offers a day of fun and thrills for the entire family. See all the shows, ride all the rides for one admission price. Get set for the greatest in family entertainment. Hurry to Ghost Town in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, where the fun never stops.
Wonder if that amusement park's still around.
Don't miss out on the time of your life at the nation's greatest picnic park. Hurry,
How about that?
hurry, hurry.
Okay. Man Thing Marvel Age. Okay. That's right. Okay, Marvel Adventure, reprinting an old Daredevil. Should be here. Here we go. Issue 3, I bought that when I was in 4th grade. 2 goes in with 3. And then I have issue 6. And there was Marvel Age, was a comic that is basically given away 25 cents at this is the one that had some value at some point. I don't know if it still does, because some people say it's the first appearance of the black costume that Spider-Man wore for a little while that later became Venom, which I was never that thrilled with, but a reader submitted a picture, as I recall. There it is. So this is, some people consider that to be the first appearance of the black costume. So this was going for a little bit of money there for a while. Whether it still does, I don't know. Tell me down in the chat, or I can look it up. Marvel Age. All right, I'm showing you really boring comics. I know, sorry. Well, I have 2 copies of issue 12. I hope it's very valuable. Thousands of dollars. I don't think it is. You want to make a guest appearance? Look into the eyes of Ambrose. Ambrose the cat. Hello there, Ambrose. Guest appearance. Aren't you glad you stuck around? Man, you smell like poop. Not you, the viewers, the cat. Woof. Okay, let's see how this is looking now. Does it look a little more professional? Probably not. I see some magazine boxes over there that aren't labeled, so let's get them labeled. This has no sugar in it. I've got to try to, well, I had all the notes written down. It's in my jacket downstairs, but anyway, as far as what I need to do, I got to do this certain diet. This is a heavy box of magazines, and I don't know what's in it. So let's find out. Okay. Some issues of Alter Ego. Let's pull these out. Wow, these are some great issues. January 2009. I wish I had a more complete collection of Alter Ego. It's just great stuff. Look at this. I'll pull that out. Look at this issue. Okay. This is a very strange hodgepodge of magazines. Some cracked monster magazines, some coloring books, National Lampoon. Superstar Heroes. I think this came out from Myron Foss, or Fass. I think this is the same people that did the Eerie Publications magazines. Let's see if I'm wrong. Paul Hirsch, publisher. There were a bunch of these cheapo magazines that came out in the late 70s to cash in on all the space movies. Started with Star Wars, and of course this is when the Star Trek movie came out, and of course Superman. Let's see, this covers the Hammer Mummy movie, and here's a pinup of Gil Gerard. That's kind of unfortunate. The pink background. The Amityville Horror certainly places this in time. Disney attempts to outdazzle Star Wars. The Black Hole didn't work. It was a good movie, but Disney. The Hulk speaks out. I'll pull this one too. That needs to be filed somewhere else. An issue of Model Railroader from 1984. This is something I loved as a little kid. My oldest brother was always buying Model Railroader. That was what his hobby was. And I just loved, if there had been a different fork in the road, maybe I would have been a model train collector with a layout like that. It just didn't work. Come on, dog. Hey, stop back. It's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon around here. This was a fun magazine. I have a whole box of Model Railroader. This should be in that box. This looks like a box of things that I didn't know where to file them at the time, and I just threw them in this box. Like these, in 1976, Time magazine put out these historical looking issues. Got all kinds of stuff. Here's a little free magazine that you got the theater this is about when Scarface came out. Oh, I forgot about the movie DC Cab. I thought that was pretty funny. Now we got some cracked magazines in here too. including this pretty great monster thing that Crack did called Monsters Attack. Crack cashed in on the monster craze in the mid-60s, but in the 90s they did it as well. Or whatever this is the year on this one. 87. Here's my childhood Planet of the Apes coloring book. And I've got several of these. But there's another box that has coloring books, so I need to find that box and put these in there. Here's Zippy magazine, Zippy the Pinhead. Some kitchen sink spirit issues are in here. Okay, so that's what that box is. So I guess I'll write miscellaneous. Tomorrow my wife's sending me some text messages. Okay. All right, we're back. What's in this box? Okay, I see what this is. Remember these magazines about hot rods and racing? There's drag cartoons, and there was Cartoons, which has been recently revived. I don't know if it's still in business, but remember a few years back I went into a Walmart and saw an issue of Cartoons on this. I couldn't believe it. One of the first comics, magazines, anything that I ever bought, I remember, was an issue of Cartoons, and recently, well, I had an issue of Choo Choo Charlie from Gold Key in 1969, but this isn't as bad a shape as I remember, man. Is this the original? What? Okay. I got this when I was 5. This issue of Cartoons, I remember it being trashed. And then recently, Kevin, the owner of Gotham City Comics, was at a comic convention, and he saw this one, and I said, man, I wonder if that's in better shape than the one I got as a kid. And he said, no, it's trash, and it was. But this one, I am confused, because I remember this being taped together. I wonder if I upgraded at some point during an eBay frenzy, but this is important. But then the other one should be in here. Let me see if it is. I wouldn't have thrown away the childhood copy. This This one from October of 71. It's kind of like Mad Magazine for people that are just only into cars, you know, like gearheads. And there was Cycle Tunes as well, about, you know, motorcycles. These weren't on every newsstand. They I'm thinking, here's a mid-70s Crumb magazine, Arcade. Later he'd do something called Weirdo in the 80s. Maybe you know, it probably would be good to get all my magazines alphabetized. It's really a little confusing. There's another one. I could have sworn I had the one with the alligator girl eating somebody on the cover. I bet that's in another box. Look at this one, autographed from Big Daddy Roth to me. Got that at a car show. Even though technically that's not his artwork, he's shown on the cover. This is one I remember very fondly, this cover. I just always loved this cover of Scream. What am I doing? Whoa. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I just found another box that's labeled coloring books, VHS catalogs, and movie mags. Is that what this is? Yeah. So I can move those Planet of the Apes over here. Let me plug you guys in. Damn. This got folded. No, this is a. See that's Bunny Yeager's signature. Order direct from me. But that's Bunny Yeager, the photographer. She photographed Betty Page and other pinup. This is her catalog that I got in the 90s. There's a bunch of catalogs from her and I was talking about this with last week, I think, last Saturday's show. At the end of the show, we were talking about books that came out in the 80s that were influential about music and movies, like the Psychotronic Encyclopedia of Film, and I was talking about this company, Amok, which I thought it was in San Francisco, but it was actually in Los Angeles, California. But it's a book company, and this is before Amazon and everything, and this would be weird, esoteric scandalous kind of books. Like here, you open it up, it's Gnosis. It's going to be occult. Oh my gosh. Some horrible pictures in here. Just saw a picture of John F. Kennedy's head at an autopsy, so that must have been in the conspiracy section. Yeah, there's just there's a section about Tesla. My word, I'd have to. Oh my gosh. Let's see what all this is about. Yeah, it's just things about neuropolitics, sensory deprivation. That's like altered states where you get in a tank and turn into a caveman. It's for people that are into alternative stuff. True crime. There's a wanted poster for Patty Hearst. Horror and mass media, things about Mexican comic books, wrestlers. Silent movie stars. That kind of thing. And I got tons of Something Weird catalogs. Something Weird being a VHS. It started as a VHS kind of bootleg label, and then it became more legitimate. And they're still around today, although Mike Vraney unfortunately has passed away. And, his wife runs it. In the 90s, there was a lot of cool, really good cartoons on. So this is a magazine about that. It came out at the time, Wild Cartoon Kingdom. Beavis and Butthead. There's a Batman animated movie coming out. Eon Flux, The Guyver, Ren and Stimpy, all the stuff from the 90s that was really kind of a wonderful era. I disparage the 90s, but I tend to forget how great. It's like the superheroes may have been crummy in the comics in the 90s, but on television there was some wonderful things going on for Batman and the X-Men and stuff like that. This is a magazine from France, I believe, called Mad Movies. It's all in a foreign language that you can't read. But it has little ad mats. I would get these at half-price books. Great pictures, like look at that. Myrna Loy and Boris Karloff. That would be worth. This is suitable for framing. And it's called Cinefantastique. And this might have predated. There was an American magazine called Cinefantastique that was, I think, started as a French magazine. And it might have been this. Let's see when this is dated. October 76. No, Cinefantastique was still around. I think that's just coincidence that it says Cinefantastique. It just means fantastic cinema. Anyway, this is that's one of the greatest photographs ever taken. I remember seeing that as a 7-year-old in the Monster Times. It's from the Monster of Piedras Blancas, a creature from the Black Lagoon imitation. But the creature from the Black Lagoon never held a human head in his hands. Of course, the creature from the Black Lagoon's better, but that picture's great. There was a punk rock band, the Angry Samoans, that used that picture on the front of their album cover. I think this magazine got a little slicker. It was issue 14. See, it's got a glossy cover now. but it's still the same old thing inside. Very heavy, dense text, which would be great if you could read French. But I'm sure it's very literate and good reading. Yeah, it's just okay. This kind of dates when it came out. In the United States, it was Godzilla versus the Bionic Monster. It's Godzilla contre Mécanique Monster, however they would pronounce it. What was that? They're talking about fanzines. Here's one called the Black Oracle. Looks pretty good. I like that artwork. That artwork looks better than 99% of the artwork coming out today in professional comics, I think. Issue 17. Oh, this is a great cover. That's from a Mexican movie called The Ship of Monsters. It's we put clips from this movie in the second episode of The Hypnotic Eye, because I had somehow obtained a copy or parts of that movie on VHS, and I brought them to the studio when Joe Riley and I were assembling that second episode of The Hypnotic Eye, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're in the second episode. Second or third episode. These aren't in order. Oh well. Big article on Mexican horror movies. But the great thing is the ad mats. There's a whole couple of books that Kevin's about to get from a guy I saw on Facebook. Had assembled all these ads for Shock Theater and different monster movie things, and he's ordered several sets of the two books, and I'm looking forward to those getting in, because I want to see that. I love ad mats for advertisements that ran in newspapers. I even have this kind of thing, Home Video, 1981. This is when there were whole magazines devoted to recording stuff on your VCR. And there were very few movies that were out at the time. And I was saving up my money to get my first video, my Panasonic VCR, VHS, and I would buy these magazines in dreams of it's like a vision quest that someday I'd be able to, get Russ Meyer movies and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. I remember seeing this. It's William Shatner in his state-of-the-art home theater. Remember those rear projection TVs? That was the state-of-the-art for Shatner. Let's see what Shatner has on his walls up there. All his souvenirs. Damn. The great thing about couches like that is you could vomit on them all you want and no one would ever see the stains. I'm not disparaging William Shatner's taste in... Here he is, all posing dramatically with his... What's he watching? Some Shakespearean thing? Yes, indeed. Video cassette exchange. Or you can just go to satellite. Some people do that. And here are the little boxes you can get, basically, so you can bootleg and make copies of the VHS stuff you rent from the store. That's what that's really about. Yeah, I've got more than a few of these magazines too. And then I was excited about CDs coming in. So I got this magazine about which CD players should you get. Of course, now they don't even make CDs anymore. I don't even know how a musician can make a living now. I don't know what is it, how, it's been so long since I bought music. I think the last time it was like when the Wonder Woman TV soundtrack came out. I used to have so many, I have so many CDs and so many records. I've always loved music, but now any new music, it's just right there on YouTube. You don't have to pay for it. It's just available to you. And so I don't know how musicians make money. Here's another one of those mock catalogs, and you just open it up, and it's just mostly horrifying images. Neuropolitics, and a picture of that Aleister Crowley guy. This is sort of like hipster, borderline satanic hipster conspiracy theory. I don't know. Books about the herd instinct. This is just. Anyway, I save everything, man. I got everything in here. A magazine called Stay Free about marketing to kids, and one of these modern magazines that tells you about the making of Jaws on its 45th anniversary. This must be 10 years old because Jaws, this summer, won't it? This summer will be Jaws' 50th anniversary. What? Oh, this is 5 years ago. Yeah. Because Jaws is about to have its 50th anniversary this summer. Yeah, they'll probably make a big deal out of that. The World of Fandom magazine. This is probably from 1989, judging from that. Volume 2, number 6. I think this was a local Dallas fanzine. Let me see. Oh, it was out of Tampa, Florida. And it's pretty thick. It doesn't look particularly good, but it's all right. Seems to be very heavily dedicated to trauma movies. Lots of stuff about Toxic Avenger. In fact, the whole issue is almost all Toxic Avenger and other trauma movies. How about that? A little bit stuff about comic books, but this came out in '88, so it's not a good time period for comics. Now these movie star news catalogs are significant because they were a company out of New York that sold stills from movies and movie star, and they'd been doing it since the 40s. This guy Irving Klaw. Well, in the 50s, Irving Klaw started. He had pictures from like the old movie serials where people are tied up, and And people, these weird guys in raincoats were wanting pictures with that. So he started staging his own pictures, and he hired Betty Page. And so there's tons of pictures he took of Betty Page. And then when Betty Page was rediscovered, when Dave Stevens did the Rocketeer comic, all these people sought out movie star news. Irving Klaw had passed away, but his sister Paula Klaw was still running it. And all of a sudden, they would send these catalogs out of all these movie stars, but their main thing is people wanting those pictures of Betty Page that they had taken, and they had those pictures. And so, you know, they'd send you these catalogs, these thick catalogs, and they also had shot 8mm films of Betty Page that they would sell you. Not very good copies of them, but, you know, her dancing and stuff like that. They were all, you know, PG rated. So I got a bunch of these movie star news catalogs. A bunch of these video catalogs in here. This was one of those magazines I bought at Lone Star Comics. Questar. Had some comics in the back, but it's just it's pretty good. Looks like a Robert Bloch article in there. Cinemagic was a magazine that Starlog put out, which was dedicated to amateur filmmaking, and it would showcase people with their Super 8 cameras and 8mm cameras making movies basically in their backyard. And that's the only issue I have of that. I think I'd like to have more of it, but you know that'll never happen. It's one of those things. Okay, I'm trying to clear this, I'm trying to get some room to put more coloring books in here. James Bond Files, Diamonds Are Forever, Girl from U.N.C.L.E., Amazing Figure Modeler. This was a big deal in the 90s, possibly late 80s, to make your own model kits. They called them garage kits. People would sculpt them and they would make resin model kits, and they were expensive, but they were fantasy kits that were never made. They called them garage kits. This must be the first issue. I'm going to put these in a different box, I think. And this is Cinema Odyssey with the Olivia Newton-John cover. Oh, it's got a ad for Return of the Jedi coming soon. Okay, so coloring books I'm going to put in here with the other coloring books. It's DC Comics superheroes during that horrible time period when Superman had long hair. The artwork in here is kind of like this. It's all okay. It's all done pretty much in the style of the Batman cartoon that was on the air at the time. And in this book, I've got an Ultraman coloring book, I think. Oh man, there's some stuff in here from when I was putting a magazine together that just got left in here. Like a Batman, and those little scraps need to go somewhere. But it's someone made this homemade coloring book. Paint and marker book. The artwork inside's not very good, but the cover is good. There's another one of those. It's Johnny Quest. Here's the So High coloring book from Linus the Lionhearted. This is 1965, the year I was born. There's another Universal Monsters coloring book. Bullwinkle and Rocky. It's a reprint of an older 60s coloring book, but this is probably from the late 80s. This one is from my childhood when you could get them for 24 cents. This is, did I color in it? Looks like my third grade self knew better than to color in it and run it. But I would say this is a reprint of something earlier. I'd say this is that looks like 1960s, probably mid-60s. But I got this in the mid-70s, so I would say it's about 10 years old, a reprint of something from 10 years before. And what do we got here? Flash Gordon coloring book. It looks like it's from the time period of the cartoon, the Filmation cartoon on Saturday morning. It's nice, nicely done. The trick is to make the trick is to make photocopies of these pages, and then you color the copies. And then you gotta, that's what you do with these coloring books. You don't color on the original book. So Snow White, when was the artwork originally done? Probably earlier than when this was. Okay, here's my other Planet of the Apes coloring book. So now I'm gonna reunite the Planet of the Apes coloring books. That's a jip, man. You get a Planet of the Apes coloring book, and you don't just want a picture of corn. I mean, you want a picture of Nova or a gorilla with a gun, them getting out of the spaceship. But when they give you pictures of grapes and the other stuff that the humans eat, that's a waste of a couple of pages. Here's Batman. Oops, shit. No damage. Batman the Animated Series. This was I was starting to buy a lot of this merchandise for that. I was so enamored. I was probably about 30 when that cartoon came on the air, but I wasn't a kid, but thought it was great. And it was about the same time period, but more with the look of the comic. Of course, kids today think Batman's supposed to have a black suit with armor, but this is something I got in third grade. I think we were in Austin. Yeah. We got it at the Texas Memorial Museum. And it's just a weird coloring book that's like mimeographed. It's the cheap ass thing. And some more Batman stuff. Okay, dude. What are we gonna do now? Shit. So this will now be reunited with these coloring books that I got in 3rd grade. And this Batman one will go with the other Batman, so that's kind of cool. Oh, I have 2 of the same coloring books. How about that? All right, now we got a bunch of coloring books together. What is this magazine called? Ipso Facto. It's oh, I know, I have it. It has an article. It says Quantum Mechanic about Mark Pauline of Survival Research Laboratories. He'd build these robots that would fight each other. And it looks like some egghead, like people that listen to Mantronics, who listen to music like that from Capitol Records. Yeah, this is not. This is for people into a whole different subculture than me back then. Cabaret Voltaire. I thought, maybe it's great music. I don't think I ever gave it a shot, because I remember people that were into that and not, I don't know. No offense if you're a big Cabaret Voltaire fan. I'm sure it's great music. Fantastic and funny. All right. A little bit of organization has been done. A little bit. Except there's still, hold on a second. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing a way I can organize a little better here. Where was that miscellaneous box? Where did it go? Is it over there? Oh, no. Did I put it up? Just a moment. Okay. Now, Okay, so I see what I need to do. This box has the Warren magazine, The Spirit. I got this at a Lone Star Drive-In, a convenience store, also known as an ice house in San Antonio, in probably 4th grade. No, the end of 3rd grade. So I've got them in here, but then at a certain point, there was the Spirit number 16, and then 17 was, the run was continued on with kitchen sink. And I found some kitchen sink spirits over here in another box I need to file. This is the Spirit number 26. These all had wraparound covers. 26. These are very inexpensive. You can usually find them for $1. Yeah, I'll be back. All right, we're back. Filing comics. This is issue 36. They really always look better like that. Well, this reprints the first Spirit section from June 2nd, 1940 in color, but not very good color, but I always preferred when Warren was doing the Spirit to kitchen sink, but Will Eisner preferred what kitchen sink did. In the Warren comics, they added shading and stuff that Richard Corbin did that Will Eisner didn't like. These aren't in order. Issue 19. See, this is from a dollar bin. 28. 32. That's a great cover. At a certain point, they're not doing new. Will Eisner's not doing new covers. There's 35. I guess he came back for 36. Which one's this? By 40, it's old art, and it's not just an ad on the back. It's not. 37. 26. That's out of order. That's out of order. That's out of order. Okay. There's 23. I might have the whole run. I just didn't realize it because they're not in order. 25. 27, 28, 26. Yeah, I might be the whole run. Look at that. This is 38. And 19. I already have a 19. Now I have two 19s. Beautiful art. Wow. Okay, so those are the box lid. Warren, Spirit, and Weirdo. But if Weirdo's in here, it looks like I've got these other underground magazines in the back, rip-off. It's the first issue of Weirdo from Crumb. But there was another, this box here, I believe, had some of the same kind of stuff in the back, didn't it? No, that's a different box. It was that box. I think. No, maybe not. It was this box. Yes. These magazines. So here's a Zippy 2-in-1 issue, and then I've got this other Zippy. I just found another box, Zippy 2, that goes after that. Then Neat Stuff. Boy, was that great. Peter Bag. And then we'll put these arcades before Weirdo. Oh boy, they reprint Tijuana Bibles in here. Yeesh. Incomplete. Yep. So, I highly recommend this. I don't have the whole run of Arcade. I need to seek it out. Then Drawn and Quarterly. Let's put that after that Peter Bag book. After that Neat Stuff. And here's an issue of Honk. Throw that in right about the same place. And then there's this Griffith Observatory book that needs to go after the Zippy books. And then we're going to have a little bit more cohesion here. Things will make a little more sense. This is a National Lampoon imitation called Apple Pie. Well, and then there was Harpoon. Obviously, that's a National Lampoon imitation. I'll put those in this box. There's a picture of my father after he got out of the military. He was in real estate. There's another copy of Cryptology coming out. I gotta figure out where to put that. Okay, Erie Publication. This is the Spirit box. No, wrong lid. This is the right lid. You want to make sure you don't put the wrong lid on a box, because when you have 3 boxes open at the same time, that can create problems later trying to find things. Twilight Zone night. This is when Dune was coming out. The David Lynch Dune. This was a magazine they used to give away free at the Century Bookstore at the Forum Mall. The Plain Truth. It was from, was it from Garner Ted Armstrong? Yeah. This one had Devil Movies, View at Your Risk. This must have been right when The Omen had come out. And obviously The Exorcist. Oh, look, Disaster Movie Mania. This is from August of '77. Rhino catalog, 1941 poster magazine. Oh man. Okay. Here is a facsimile of an April 1967 issue of Weird. It's a, man, what is that? I think something just bit me. Okay. Here's an October '66 issue of that magazine. Here's an October '67 issue of that magazine. Wonder why they reprinted, it's not the first issue. I wonder why they just reprinted that random issue. Okay. This is Kevin would like to see this. Let me get better light. It's a mask catalog from a company called Elusive Concepts. And Elvira's posing on the cover. It's from Halloween of 1999. So they've got Elvira costumes and Kiss. This was for stores that to order this is a wholesale catalog to order your masks and stuff for the upcoming year. Oh man, I better go through every page of this. Okay, this came with it. This is the order form. I think I got this from a friend that used to work in one of these kind of stores. It was actually a vintage clothing store, but Halloween, they went all out. So these are the, I think Kevin has both of those masks. Looks like a Howard Stern mask. Hellraiser looking garbage. I never liked the ultra gore aspect of Halloween. I just don't like things like that. I always prefer Halloween to be more of a kid's holiday. Well, this dates it. Time period. It's like a bunch of people that voted for Kamala Harris. Here's the Universal Studios section. The Tales from the Crypt page. Monsters. That's interesting. That would have been cool to have a Herman Munster mask. the Kiss pages. I guess these are wrestlers at the time. Goldberg. Anyway, tabletop decorations. I don't know, man. Oh, look at this full-size Frankenstein over 6 feet tall. Now you could get a Bride of Frankenstein too, over 6 feet tall. I wonder what that would cost now. There's a full costume for Herman Munster. How about that? I got this relatively recently, this issue of Psycho from, I was about to say Lone Star Comics, from Gotham City Comics. It's issue number... Damn, I can't read a thing. January of 73. Okay. So where did I just see the Psycho magazines?
Hey, Dick, lend an ear, because Elvis is here with an invite just for you. It's Elvis
somewhere here.
Elvis has a swinging Wrangler on a dude ranch. Not just
Oh, this is an issue of a magazine that the Sophisticate. This is an issue that never came out. I had this cover put together for an issue that just never got released. But that's all there exists of the Sophisticate number 19. It would have come out in October of 1997. Maybe I should do it now. Let's see, 97, almost 30 years later. Maybe I should finish this and use this as the cover. What do you think? Tell me down in the chat down below what you think of that incredible idea. I better
Summer's the time when you need something more than a soft drink. So reach for ice cold Coca-Cola.
Okay, this box has my Monster Bash magazines in it. And Monster. Oh, this is perfect.
And Coke lifts your spirits, boosts your energy, gives you the refreshment you're looking for.
There's 3D monsters.
And for extra fun, take more than one. For extra fun, take more than one. Make an extra carton of Coke. Things go better with Coca-Cola. Things go better with Coke. An extra carton of Coke. Look for these more than one displays wherever you shop. And follow that.
Oh, I can pull this cracked for monsters only out because I just saw some cracked comics in another box. And this is an underground book that... Oh my gosh. Okay, what am I doing? I got Monster Bash number 13. Let's put that in here. Got 1, 4, 5. Then I go to 31. Let's put that in there. Here's Monster Bash 45. This is a currently published Monster magazine. It's great. I guess I'll put these cryptologies. I've got issue 1 and 2. I wonder when the third issue is coming out. It might have gotten delayed by all this diamond problems, unless the magazine's been canceled. I don't know. Famous Monsters number 132.
Oh, sing
James Bond. Is back in action.
Put these facsimiles of horror monsters and mad monsters into this box.
Everything he touches turns to excitement in
Psycho.
See Sean Connery as Agent
January
007
'73.
Goldfinger, starring Gert Frobe as Goldfinger and Anna
This is
Blackman
November
as
of '72.
Also starring Shirley Eaton, a United Artists release in Technicolor.
March of '73, so it goes between those two issues. Monster World number 4.
Like glass on shoes. There's a store full of them in Thomastown. Shoes with big brass buckles and brass chains. Glass on shoes. It was your thing, what? You can do it at Thomastown for $8.99 to $10.99.
Here's Monster World number 6.
Do your own thing. Do your own thing. You have a mind to take a good licking.
Which one had the cracked magazine? It was this one.
If you can be counted out in the
Ads for Super 8 movies. They had horror comics in it.
poster of the Beatles. The album is called The Beatles. Nothing else is here.
Yeah, this was Cracked Magazine trying to do a Famous Monsters imitation. It's pretty good.
Double record album and
It was called For Monsters Only. I don't have many copies of it at all, unfortunately.
Let's suppose you just come up with a new soft drink. A tart and tingling soft drink. Clear, brisk, and bubbly, and it was called Sprite. How could you let anyone know what it tasted like, short of making them buy a bottle? Well, one way would be with music. Tart and tingling, you could describe like this. Clear and brisk, like this. Bright and bubbly, this way. And then you could add some, mix it all together, and this is what you get.
Clear and light, tart and tingling, icy bright, tart and tingling, brisk and breezy, clear and easy taste. Taste, taste the tingling tartness of Sprite.
Oh, man.
Sprinkling, sparkling Sprite.
Now you know what Sprite tastes like. Tart and tingling. Try it. It's from the Coca-Cola Company.
What time is it? Tell me what the time is down in the chat below.
At the edge of the universe, 100 men and women are probing the immeasurable blackness of space. Their leaders are an Earthman with no fear and a stranger with no heart. Travel beyond our time and solar system, into new galaxies, into worlds beyond your dreams. Star Trek, every week, in color on the NBC television network.
Okay. Well, dog is sacked out here. I'll go this way. I guess I'll be seeing you guys.